This week, we're bringing you a special conversation between Lorna and I, taking a look at our 2025 Collaborative Response Retreat that is happening in May here in beautiful Lacombe, Alberta. We just wanted to be able to share what we are planning for and why you should consider attending this amazing professional learning event. So let's get started.
Are you a leader who is navigating the nuances of leading collaborative response in your school or district? Are you unsure of what collaborative response is? Are you looking to understand the critical role leadership plays when establishing and refining a collaborative response approach?
Collaborative response began as a grassroots approach to focus on the needs of students through a framework of collaboration. That approach has grown to a movement that is training leadership and education.
Through the Leading Collaborative Response podcast, Curtis and I share our own experiences of leading collaborative response and lessons learned as we continue to learn and gain insight through the experiences of working alongside others. We also have the opportunity to engage in conversations with school and divisional leaders implementing the framework in their own organizations.
We know great leaders build great teams because that is what every child deserves. Subscribe to the Leading Collaborative Response podcast and join the thousands of schools seeing success for students through intentional and focused collaborative efforts. Our 2025 Collaborative Response Retreat, this isn't the first time that we are planning to bring together schools and school leaders. It's actually our 8th iteration
Can you believe it?
of bringing people together in a gathering to examine, deepen, and explore collaborative response within varied frameworks. So why don't we start off with a little bit of the history of these 8 years, what it's looked like, and what we've landed on in this retreat format that we have planned for May of 2025.
It has actually gone through quite a journey. When we think about 8 years, sounds incredible, and we should have things really set by now, but we've been through a number of versions. So the first 3 years that we did our conference, it was a conference, and we held it in Edmonton, and we were at hotels, and we had lots of fun. It was wonderful.
Utilizing those conference spaces, and I think we had anywhere from maybe close to 150 in that first year. I think the largest one that we had was right around 500 participants. And
just amazing learning, and lots of learning for us too, in terms of setting up conferences.
And how do you make a meaningful experience for people that matches the value of registration and time that they're putting forth.
And then of course COVID hit. And the first year of COVID, we of course went solely online, and we provided just sessions for people. It was free. We just did 1 day of open sessions for everyone.
We had nearly 1,000 people joining in at different points on that first iteration when we were first moving into an online world and trying to figure out what does this actually look like.
Then that next year was still online because we were still in that place of uncertainty in terms of gathering people face to face. So we did a little bit more in-depth online conference that year as well.
Our online symposium. That's what we referred to it as.
And then we jumped into that idea of being able to have a retreat. And really our focus now is, how do we bring people together to really provide value for their time, in terms of, if we're doing this in the spring, let's do some planning, on-site planning, and really think about, what does a retreat mean? And that idea of, we're going to have time together to really focus on how are we moving ahead strategically. And that's kind of where we've landed in these last, this will be the third year
coming
retreat.
Up. Well, and I think through that retreat idea of trying to create a immersive and really intimate setting for those that are coming to not be a conference type situation, but rather an opportunity to network, to
Yeah.
learn, and really walk away with tangible next steps, connections that we've established. And by doing this, we cap our participant numbers
Yeah.
to 140 people and really want to create high levels of value for those that are in attendance.
Yeah, and we've come to a place where we've really wanted to be able to access the expertise of people who are engaging in collaborative response in their schools. And so many of our breakout sessions are people who are just sharing their story, sharing their experience, and providing an opportunity for you to connect with someone who perhaps is in a school with the same configuration and can talk through some of those challenges that they've had.
Okay, so let's talk through some of the unique um, structures and processes that we put in place because we really want to reinforce the idea that everyone that comes is an expert and a learner.
Yeah.
We want everyone to walk away with something that they can take as next steps, but that everyone can contribute to that as well. So you mentioned already, we have 3 concurrent session time slots. Each time we showcase 5 different schools or school authorities that share what it is that they've done and they've learned around collaborative response. So really, it's an opportunity to hear from 15 different contexts during, or possibly 15 during the course of the retreat, and really hear from those that are engaging in their own schools and school divisions what that work looks like. So that's one of the keys there. We do have a pre-retreat on the Thursday where we provide an overview of collaborative response if that's where you're at as a school, or if you have a team that you wish to understand the framework a little deeper. But then on the main retreat days, the May 2nd and 3rd, we actually don't us or any of our Jigsaw Learning team provide any sessions. We really facilitate learning between
We feel like you
organizations.
hear from us all year long. You
Well,
don't need to hear from us during that time.
and that was one of our shifts too, is we have all of the different learning components available online. We have on-demand workshops. We have all of these things that people can learn and go deeper around collaborative response. Let's make the retreat all about how is the work looking in other contexts.
And our role during that time is, of course, to be there, facilitate the learning, create opportunities for connections between schools. And of course, if you have any questions, we're there to help you along too.
So the retreat, it's a day and a half. It's May 2nd and 3rd, the full day on Friday, followed by a half day. We learned that ensuring that there's only one day of sub coverage needed within schools was important. And then on the Saturday, to be able to have people be able to get away early enough to still enjoy their weekends. So we start off when we come in, we have each one of our participants reflect on where are they at with their school or their school division around collaborative response. We have an organizer that allows them to reflect on different components and really chart out what are some priorities that they want to attend to over that day and a half. So we declare those priorities, and we actually go in every school, every organization that's attending, right up on the wall around the main meeting area, puts up, these are the priorities that we are trying to learn about or walk away from. And then we begin the process of, if these are your priorities, which sessions would make the most sense to attend? Which schools should you try and connect with? And we utilize many different strategies, such as a gallery walk. So people can go around, see others' priorities and say, oh, I could help you with this particular thing that you are trying to learn deeper about. So we try and intentionally create multiple connections for people through some very purposeful, focused reflection on where are they at and where do they want to go.
And really targeting your learning and the needs that you have around your next steps, rather than just coming to a session and trying to pick what you think might meet your needs, but being very intentional about identifying those priorities and then how are we going to attend to those during this time?
Yeah. And one of the things that we did last year and this year we're going to do even more intentionally is you would see posters that would say, "Come see me at table 12." I can I'd love to talk through what we've done in that particular area. It
Yeah.
was so awesome to see those different connections
Well, and the
that were happening.
networking is so powerful.
Yeah. Well,
Learn from
and
each other.
people may not realize this either, but when you come, there's actual a table assignment. Everyone gets assigned where they meet when we come together for the main areas, and we're very intentional of who's sitting at that table
Yeah.
in regards to, can we center some high school people together? Do we have
So,
district leads that could have some informal time together?
and commonalities so that you can make best use of that table time too.
Absolutely. So then we already mentioned those breakout sessions. We also have planned a panel discussion where we are bringing together some leaders to talk about some of the lessons learned, the pitfalls, and wisdom that they can share out with the group. This year, we're also going to create a collaborative team meeting that people
Mhm.
can observe and watch. We know that that collaborative team meeting is really, really critical for the collaborative response
Mhm.
work and the overall framework. So we're actually going to model and demonstrate what that can look like, give an opportunity for the group to see
We're
that.
really excited about being able to do that. And we've had lots of requests to be able to
Yeah,
model a collaborative team meeting and especially being able to really tune into that key issues process that is so
absolutely.
integral to our collaborative team meetings.
We also then have opportunities for people to um, see and demo the WeCollab software as part of the time
Yeah.
together. But really, it is the time that you have together with other like-minded educators and leaders that becomes such a critical part of our retreat. Now, that captures the learning and planning intentions,
Hmm.
but we also know that our community of Lacombe is beautiful community.
Oh.
And with a retreat, we also want to be able to have some fun and joy as well. So, what are some things that we have planned or that we've seen other schools when they come to the retreat
So we
engage with
have
their team?
so many opportunities here in Lacombe, and we're in central Alberta, and it is such a beautiful area. There's lots of walking paths and biking trails and a golf course, and there's so many things to do here. We had a team a couple of years ago who went to an axe throwing facility that we
That we
have
have,
here.
yeah.
So there's lots of things to do for team building for your team.
Our local restaurants and
Oh,
breweries
so good.
also,
We are so spoiled here.
absolutely.
And of course, we have planned some fun time for us to be able to get together in a social. And that will happen on the Friday night, right after we're finished our sessions for the day, so that we can just convene and have a nice social time and visit with people and connect in a just in a fun way. And
Absolutely.
then you can make arrangements for your supper with your team after that.
So we'd really encourage you in the notes that go along with this. We will include links to be able to access. We also partner with a number of our local businesses to be able to offer door prizes and different swag materials for our participants. We really try and make this a unique learning and engagement opportunity. So check out the notes for some links. We'd also really encourage you. We open up registration in January, but we have an early notification email list. The benefit of this email list is if you join, you are going to get a exclusive window to be able to register before we open up general registrations. Again, we know that with capping the numbers at that 140, that we hope that the spaces are going to go quickly. So being part of that early notification can allow you that registration window. We also want to be able to thank those that are engaged in that
Yeah.
early registration. If you register in that time, through the early notification email list, we also have a surprise gift that we are going to share out with you, valued at $200, just to say thank you and to help prime your learning. So that link will also be in the notes, but if you'd like to go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/25, so the number 25, CR retreat wait. So that's CRRETREATWAIT. You'll be able to join that list and get early notification for when registration opens up if this is something that interests you.
It's such a fantastic event, and we enjoy it probably even more than our participants do. So we are just super excited to be able to have you join us this year and really do so much learning, but have a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, and we also provide those that are in attendance access to numerous online resources. We basically open up everything that we can do to help support the work that you're doing. So it's definitely a highlight of the year. And it's funny to be talking about it in the fall for something coming up in May, but we really are excited to open up those registrations later in January. All right, wishing you all the best, and please reach out if you have any questions about the retreat or anything that we can help provide support. Check out those links, as we also have numerous testimonials from past participants attending or commenting on the power of the time together. So with that, wishing you all the best.
See you soon.
Subscribe to the podcast and the Jigsaw Learning YouTube channel to access past and upcoming episodes. Join us again to continue to build your own capacity and leading collaborative response in your context.